Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get my podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions: how to record an episode, where do I go to record an episode, and how do I even get people to listen to the episode? And some people asked, how do you make money from a podcast? It's not easy to do that, but with Anchor, your questions will be answered if you head over to anchor.fm/start. And it's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now that with Anchor, you can match up with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this silly little ad. So why not head over to anchor.fm and definitely /start and try starting your own podcast. It's fun. See you later.
This is a Wild Games Production podcast.
Hey folks, Evil DM here. It's another episode of the Evil DM podcast, Evil Dungeon Master podcast. I am your host, DM Vince. Wanted to do another podcast today, talking a little bit about character creation and how character creation should be fun and not a chore. I'm not sure why many people think character creation is a chore. Like, I was doing character creation a while back with a player of mine, and they were basically just, getting a little bit annoyed that it was taking so long for character creation. Now, I don't want to say what game it is exactly or who the person is, because I don't like naming names, so I'm not the type of person throwing people under the bus, but it was obviously taking a little long, and when it takes a little long, some people get frustrated, but I don't know. When I play games, I like to explore my character, get a feel for my character. Maybe if it takes a little long, I'm investing in the character. Maybe putting my fingers into the character's background and his skills and everything like that. It makes it more my own as opposed to just rolling up a character in 2 minutes and then trying to figure out the rest as I go. I used to be like that when I was a lot younger, quickly get it on the paper and quickly let's go. Come on, let's figure it out as we roll. But it seems now as I get older and the more games that I play and the more experience that I get with games, I really want to figure out what the character is about and how to play the character and how to, get a good background going for that character. Some people are not like that, unfortunately, and it really does kind of frustrate me and make me kind of sad. If you put all that effort into a game as a GM and then have a player that doesn't really care, it makes you sad, doesn't it? I mean, I know you guys feel the same way out there, and if you don't, you don't, but I know a lot of people that do. They want to have a game where they put the effort into as a GM, the players do the same, and when I make up a character, I like to put the effort forward and talk to the GM and talk about ways to do things to help my character grow or help things move forward. And when they shoot it down, what am I going to do? I've got to say, okay, and move on. But when a player comes to me with something that's pretty interesting and I know I could fit it into the campaign, I will definitely try to do it. Unless it's something way off the wall or something that's really not going to fit with the campaign scheme of things going forward, then I'll probably have to tell them, unfortunately, let's try something else, or I don't think that'll really work, or I might just tell them, yeah, sure, that we'll do that, meaning that they can have it, but it's not going to really affect the campaign because I don't want to explore that because I know that really won't interest the rest of the group. Because remember, when you run games as a GM, you have to think about the entire group in itself, not just one individual. Well, some of you may be saying out there, but you have to as a GM, you should be saying yes. No, I don't have to say yes all the time. I'm entitled to say no, and I'm entitled to be like, unfortunately, that's not going to jive with the campaign world I've made, and I don't think the rest of the players will enjoy exploring that for just you. So it really depends on your group and what you think about with your group. I mean, honestly, why would you sit down for a game and not want to put the effort forward for making a character? You really should. I mean, sit down. If it takes an hour, it takes an hour. If it takes 5 minutes, fine, it takes 5 minutes. I understand we want to all play a game and we have things to do, but we should all take the time to make the character for the GM's campaign. Now, with that said, if you think it's one of those campaigns that your guy's going to die or something real quick, like a deadly game, then maybe you don't want to put the effort forward. Honestly, I'd like to know what you think out there as far as making characters and how much time to spend on it and how much time you like spending on it. Go ahead and click the button here, come to anchor.fm/theevildm, and you can actually click on it and leave a voicemail response, or you can head over to theevildm.com and click the contact form or ask the Evil DM. I think it's ask the DM at evildm.com is my email address if you want to send me an email, or go to the Evil Dungeon Master page on facebook.com and go ahead and leave a comment there or a message there to me so I can, talk about it on the next show, because feedback helps generate podcasts, and feedback is fun, and interacting with people is always fun as well, as long as it's constructive and not criticizing or making fun of anybody, because that's not what we're here for. We already have enough division here in the world. We don't need any more in the gaming community. As far as I'm concerned, we should all be able to sit at the table and play a game, leaving everything at the door. But that's just me, and that's probably a topic for another podcast completely, as it's diverging off the topic here about character creation and what I feel about that. So with that said, I'm just going to head off today and say don't forget to like this podcast or subscribe to this podcast if you haven't. I think that's the right term, subscribe to it, because I keep thinking I'm on YouTube here. Head over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/theevildm. Head over to rollhighordie.com if you want to hear all the actual play podcasts that me and my group have been doing for the past couple of years, starting with Star Wars D6, AD&D 1E, Ghostbusters D6, Palladium games, superhero games, and more. rollhighordie.com. Twitch.tv/Supreme Chancellor X is me playing games almost daily on Twitch, mostly survival horror games. If you're interested in that type of thing, head on over there and hit the follow button, and you can get a daily dose of me acting like a chicken in these horror games, or just me playing space engineers and building stuff. I do it for fun and relaxation, so why not head over there and come over and comment and make fun of me if you'd like to as well, because plenty of people do that, and we all have good laughs, and it's a good time. So with that said, I'm going to head out. Keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, everybody.